All right. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. All the way from Texas. How's everybody doing? First of all, man, I hope everybody's bees are doing good, first of all. How's everybody's bees? I made it through okay, got down to a low of 17 here in South Texas. Got James Noel, DC's Bees, shout out, Robert Souther. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you guys. Wildwood. Mike, how you doing, man? How's your bees doing, man? I was really sending you some good energy, man. I saw how much snow you guys got up there, Mike. Dude. All right, good to hear, James. Good to hear, James. Feeling better now. Good deal. Man, this is an open chat. I think the comments. If you guys want to join, the chat's open tonight, man. Good to hear, man. What we got on the table? Edward, how you doing? Good to see you tonight, man. How's everybody's Christmas? Got Edward all the way up from Washington. Nice. Your cronies were out in the pouring rain today flying, huh? Yeah, my girls were out flying today too, but it's pretty warm today. It hit 60 here today this afternoon, and the average weather here, I just checked. My weather girl here in San Antonio said we're going to see a warming trend here for the next week or two, and it's going to be really nice, man. We're looking at 70-degree days and 50-degree nights. So, one, the weather's warming up, and two, the days are getting longer. Yeah, just a few minutes early. Walker Bee Ranch in the house. Walker Bee Ranch in the house. Back in the 40s. In the day and rain. All right, so you got some day and water today. All right, good, man. Water's always good too, though. They need that, that's for sure. Good evening, James Crouch. Good to see you. Storage video shed got flattened by a tree. Ah, oh, man. No. Yeah, man, this storm was pretty vicious, man. This storm was pretty radical, man. We had it here too, man. We lost power for 4 days. We just barely got water back today. So we lost power for 4, water for 5. I know. Honestly, it wasn't even that bad of a storm here. It really wasn't. It was cold. That was it. We got cold, wind, and that was it. Thanks, DC. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. So, yeah, girls came out today. They're looking strong. I need to get in them this week. Check them out. After I have a busy ass work weekend. But Bob, how's your bees doing, man? How's your girls doing? Anybody still dealing with some weather? The tea was long dead. The wind took it down. Michael Tongway, all the way from Vermont. How's it going, Michael? Good to see you this evening. Smash that like and subscribe if you're new here. Just talking winter weather, man. You know how this weather affect. I mean, obviously affected everybody for sure. Not flying yet. Still cold. All right. So his bees are still cold. All right. Vermont, you guys are definitely still cold. Yeah, Sam said he wasn't feeling too good, I think. Or was it James? James said he wasn't feeling too good. Yes, James said he hadn't been feeling too good, man. So, yeah, now that we're coming into warmer weather here in Texas, it really is. What I was looking at, it's going to start warming up here real quick. Down here, especially 70-degree days after this big cold blast kind of tells me the weather's going to start taking a turn for the better down here. We might maybe see a few more colder days, but from what it's looking like, we're going to turn around and see a real nice warming trend here. DC, your girls are doing good. Too cold still. Let's see here. Edward, how's your bees doing, man? You're all the way up north in Washington, right? I think that's where you're at, Washington. How's your girls doing, man? Bob Walker in the house.
What's up?
What up? Still cold over there?
Yes, sir. Just hand rolling.
Yeah.
Over here, hand rolling.
Yeah.
Little swarm lure, hand roll swarm lure.
He's hand rolling.
I got to, man. It's got a label. It's a labor of love, man. Everything is, hand filled, handmade, hand labeled,
Veteran owned.
veteran owned,
Veteran labeled.
veteran labeled.
Yep. Look at that. Look at that. See, when you buy that swarm lure right there, guys, you're getting exactly that. Look, you guys, look. There's your owner right there.
That's
The
it.
Edward riggers are still huddled up, man. All right, all right.
I think it got up to like 40 something. I saw a couple, like 2-3 bees.
Yeah.
Venturing out, they must have had to really go bad or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But
I was really worried. This is my first year coming into it, man. And these bees were feral, wild, whatever you guys want to call them. I won't sit here and choose and pick what's feral, wild, whatever. But these girls, they came out of the side of a shed, between some thin ass board.
they're
So
probably
I
feeling warm and snuggly right now. Then
yeah, and I wrapped them too. So I was worried, man. I wanted to give them every fighting chance they had, man. I really did, and they popping out, man.
I'll be curious because this will be the test. Remember, I said I was going to feed them until it was too cold where they stopped taking it, right?
Yep.
So I haven't really. I've got a couple nukes that have some sugar blocks on it, but everything else is kind of like, do your thing, girls.
Yeah.
And this is the test, man. So we'll know.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. My mentor's worried about a lot of his too. He's like, if you're down to 3 frames of bees and it gets this cold, he's like, that's not enough to maintain heat. He's like, that's pushing it.
And
it's real hard for them to maintain heat with 3 frames or less.
I think it depends the size of the box, though. If you're talking 10 frames and they're 3 frames,
yeah, definitely.
If you're in a 5-frame box and there's 3 frames, you're probably golden.
Yeah, but, maybe a nuke or something, like a 3-frame nuke or something.
Depends,
Yeah.
And but it's been really cold. It's 29 degrees right now outside here, and supposed to get up. Like next week on the 4th is supposed to be back in the 70s. So as long as we can stabilize weather and not keep jumping up and down, it should do pretty good, man. I hope.
43 here right now.
Keep talking about getting some of these poly hives, the polystyrene hives, to try them out, and then I go and see how much they are, and they're more as expensive as wood. So it's like, at that point, do I even worry about changing over or what?
Who's making the polystyrene hives?
Well, Lyson makes one. I think there's a few of them. There's B-Max. They make them, and I guess you got to get those from Blue Sky Bee Supply. And then there's some European ones, right? Well, they're Sawenti and all that. So I'm just trying to find one, not really like an Apame, but more like the styrofoam ones, like Lyson. But they're still, it's still, you're looking at $60 for a 6-frame nuke, and then you're looking at another $18 for a feeder and everything. So
there's some Lyson right here,
and then there's the Lyson, the $48 one. It's $50, right? And then the feeder is like 17.
Yep.
$18, and then, from what I understand, wooden ware will fit on it. You can set it up on there.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I'm just like,
it's really cool to see the different styles between like American and like European style kits, right?
Yeah. I think it's a interesting concept. I don't know why, I don't know why it's gotten so expensive. Let's face it.
Is this all plastic?
No, it's styrofoam.
Oh, it's styrofoam. Okay.
It's like the super dense styrofoam. But when you go to, the beer store, the cheapest cooler is the styrofoam one.
Yeah.
So it's like, why is it so expensive for a styrofoam beehive?
Here's one for $113.
Yeah.
So it says better be on it though.
Yeah, but it's a Lyson. It says unassembled.
Yeah.
It's coming with 2 boxes, right?
1, 2. Yeah. Yep.
Does it come with anything else? It's got nice hardware and everything. But again, I was looking more like for nuke boxes, the polystyrene nuke boxes. They make a 6-frame, which is perfect for 5 frames of bees in a feeder. So James loving my do. That's because I had a
I like the
scullion.
hairdo, Bob. James Willis says you got a nice hairdo.
I had a scullion, and I pulled it off, right? And
They do the job, man.
hey, when you
They do
got
the job.
the heat in the bald head.
All right, hive stand right there, $85.
Yeah, it's plastic ones.
So hive parts.
Says poly. So there are, some polystyrene options. And I was listening to Black Mountain Honey, and or it might have been Gwendolyn or Gwen Gruff or Griff.
Yeah.
But he said that the polystyrene nukes seem to do well in the spring.
There it is right there.
Yeah, that's a 3-framer right there.
Yeah,
but
there's a 3-frame.
$50.
35 for the 3-frame and then 6-frame for the 48. Mine, we had wind, and my neighbor just had a styrofoam ice chest blown in my yard. I'm gonna use that for a nuke.
Well,
it says it can hold 48 beers. I wonder how many nukes I can make out of it. Take a few lids.
Those things are pretty dense. They're pretty thick. Yeah. They're light, but they're thick. So I don't know. I mean, if they have Hive Life, maybe I get a couple to check out.
That's what I'm saying. Are those screws in styrofoam?
Yeah, dude, that's like super thick. It's got latches and screwed together, and you still can paint them. Or I think you're supposed to paint them still.
Yeah. How weatherproof are they? I'm guessing they're pretty decent, I guess.
Yeah, supposedly what they were saying is they're supposed to last like 30 years, which I don't doubt. I mean, styrofoam and stuff like that from the 70s is still out there, right? It don't break down very good.
Good way to upcycle it, huh? Putting into like use of beehives and stuff.
Then I guess you look at it, if you're getting a lid, a box, and a bottom board for $50, that's actually pretty cheap.
Yeah, and
not the frames, obviously, but
yeah, frames not included. Okay, so you just get the box, but that's still not bad. That's still, and like you're saying, it does look like it's pretty sturdy built, man.
Okay, so you see those black plugs at the top? Those are vents.
Okay, those are the vent holes.
Pull the plugs out, and it's got vents there, and it's got 4 disc round circles in the bottom that you can pop out that also have like vents in it.
Right here, look, you got these little holes right here. It looks like.
No, I'm talking about in the bottom board itself, which it won't show a picture of it.
Minnesota Mike in the house.
Minnesota Mike. Bob, did he do that to you?
Yeah. Well, he did it.
Do it to everybody that comes in the chat, man.
Okay.
Not just you, man. I do it to everybody.
That's wonderful. I'm like, okay.
How's your bees doing, Mike?
They seem to be doing just fine.
Right on, man.
I've got out of the 10 that are in the back of the cabin here.
Okay.
There's only 2 that I'm really concerned about, but they had queen issues.
Okay.
We won't know until it warms up a bit to see which ones aren't flying, right?
Yeah, and so it's funny you mention that because on Wednesday or Thursday we're going to be in the upper 30s, and for as heavily insulated as those hives are, I should see some activity. There's one really weak one, I swear, it's only got a half frame of bees in it, but I did them in a 4-pack, so they could even go through. But I don't know, that's just crazy. I think I was just coming on here while you guys were talking about like styrofoam nukes. What's up with that?
Yeah, we're looking at a polystyrene nuke from Lyson. And Bob was just talking about maybe testing some out in his yard just to see what kind of results he gets from them. We're talking cost, over how well they're built and a little bit of everything. He said it looks like they're pretty well built for the most part.
So what are you thinking? I take it the cold wave is what's leaning you towards this.
Yeah, we're 20 or right now saying 32 degrees, but we got down into the teens overnight a couple times, but I've been thinking about those for a few years. I just never had a thing. But what really got me is I saw some guys that had a bunch of bearding on their wooden hives, but the polystyrene hives they had in the same yard, no bearding on it. And if you remember back in the summertime, how my colonies were bearding pretty heavily in there.
Very much so, Bob.
And he said not only because the polystyrene also keeps it cooler on the inside, once they get the temperature to where it needs to be, it's easier for them to maintain it. So instead of the bees hanging outside to cool off, they're working.
Yeah, water carrier bees coming in and taking care of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of these days I'm going to talk one of you guys down south there into doing the insulated paint on the outside of your hives and trying that out.
You know what I did to when I had them bearding like that when it got too hot, Bob, is I found some sticks or get maybe some wooden dowels.
Yeah, I did all that though. I had it vented boards
Well,
on
you
top. I added extra space in it.
Okay.
Everything.
Still didn't do it. Maybe try screen bottoms. That's what I'm going to try to do this year, this summer. Is maybe try a couple screen bottoms.
Part of me wonders why Mr. Ed Jeff, his bees do so much better covered. You know, with the roof over them, the ones that he does have roofs. In fact, Bob Binney's, the hives he has at home are actually covered. And he says,
well,
yeah, these
keeps
are
the
actually
direct
better.
sun off of them, but then that kind of defeats the hive beetle thing where everyone's saying put them in direct sunlight, but then we're going to put a cover over top of them.
Mine are in direct sunlight, guys. They're staying right where they're at. I'm not going to cover them. They're going to stay in direct sun. And yeah.
I'm going to, I mean, I know that it does make a difference with hive beetles, but hive beetles fly. So,
I think either way they're going to have them, though. Regardless of what I do, they're still going to have some sort of hive beetle problem.
I guess I'm just finding a hard time thinking that those hives are. I mean, that one, I guess, at $50 is not that bad. It doesn't have a feeder in it.
Yeah.
So
that'd be kind of nice. Do they have one with feeders on them?
Well, I've just been watching a bunch of European beekeepers right now, and they do make the 6-frame. It's a 6-frame nuke, but they use national deep frames and not U.S. Langstroth frames, right? So they're using national deep frames.
Oh, okay.
It's a 6-frame nuke, but you could basically put a 5-frame in there, and then the 6th frame is a feeder. See, there
it is. There's the nuke feeder right there. Check it. Right there. There it is.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. All right. There's your nuke feeder right there.
And that's an additional $17, right? So
yeah, just for the nuke feeder. And that's
but for $50, if you're thinking you're getting a top, a bottom, and a hive body, I mean, wood I'd figure on about, well, now it's got to be about $25 an item, right? 25 for a bottom, 25 for a box, 25 for a lid.
Yeah.
So I guess it is cheaper in comparison to that.
That is a pretty nice setup, though.
And Charlie has that, and he says he likes it. So that's yeah, they're $50 a piece. There's no way around it. You're good. I mean, you're either going to pay them in time or money, right?
Yeah.
That's it. So you're either going to pay paying to get something already made, which you still have to put that together. But you're either paying for that or you're paying in time to build them yourself. So either way, you're paying.
Okay. Now, one thing I've been missing in this whole conversation here is what is the R value of those things?
R7.
It is.
Yep, that's what.
Really.
And the only reference I have to that was Black Mountain Honey saying they had an R7 value.
Is that the value of the styrofoam?
Yeah, the insulation.
Okay.
So he said coming into spring, they noticed a difference with the polystyrene hives building up quicker because of the being able to keep the consistent temperature in the box. Where wood starts out a little bit slower because, especially here, you get that hot day, cold day, hot day, cold day thing going on.
It's a good question. Hive tool. How do they hold up to the hive tool?
I've been wondering about that for a long time.
That's a good question, man.
If you notice the black strips on the top of the super there, that's actually a hard plastic strip.
Okay.
So, I mean, and they're very hard. I mean, guy was hitting it with a hive tool, and he's like, yeah, this thing's pretty tough.
What about for the guys up north with bears? How do they hold up to the bear test?
Probably less than Mike's polar bears would probably take him out.
Yeah, there's no way, James, that I would rely on those things for that.
For bears, Mike, no way.
No, and the thing is, why isn't there an American manufacturer of these? That's what I want to know. I mean, obviously we have capabilities to blow polystyrene molds. So
cost maybe somebody that doesn't want to start the overhead cost on it.
I don't know.
One of you ever have either one of you ever run a styrofoam molds?
I haven't.
No, sir, I haven't. No,
I've run vacuum mold.
Yeah, so you just put the little beads in there and you close it up and it expands and fills into it. I think these are high density where you're basically compressing the crap out of this. It might even be a different plastic. But a good question might be, where are there some high density styrofoam mold or manufacturers here in the United States? It'd be interesting to approach them and say, hey, look, why don't you give this a run here? It's a freaking box.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it is a box with a specific dimension, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
and I mean, I don't know, but for the price, it's not like crazy expensive. I've seen where you can set regular wooden boxes like on them. Like for expansion, if you run out, you can still set like a regular Langstroth on them. But then it's like
that's what I'm saying. Like, could you take one of these and say you have like some standard Langstroth and then drop one of these on as like a honey super or something if you wanted to?
Yes. So the thing is it just if it's something that's viable, I might buy a couple and start working them in. And I go down rabbit holes if you guys don't know. But so when I was looking at doing expansions on my bee yard, right? So I've got the chestnut growth. And so what I was thinking about doing is if I had some of these nukes, that I would make my initial splits into those nukes, close them up, carry them over to the chestnut grove, away from my own bees, right here. Let them go ahead and start doing their thing. And then split again and take the splits off of those splits back to my yard. You know what I'm saying? So then I've got 2 yards that I can move stuff back and forth from. That hopefully
you're using it you're setting up a resource yard, and that makes sense. I'm
going to do that. I'm going to set up a resource yard.
But yeah, they say paint those things. They said that the only thing is they're kind of like with a wooden box. If you want to sterilize it, you can just hit it with a torch, right? So they're saying with those you have to like do bleach water submersion and stuff like that. But I mean, I don't know. It's but Charlie likes his. He's got 1 or 2, I think.
I wonder if you just couldn't do the ultraviolet wave on them, expose them for 1 minute of.
Well, not for nothing, but we sterilized stuff in the lab, and we just used not rubbing alcohol, but isopropyl alcohol. Just spray out isopropyl alcohol and let it.
The problem with these is that you have pores in these,
right?
So the alcohol penetrate the pores and take care of it. I don't know. And the other part of it is, are you sure would you even want to expose these plastic boxes to ultraviolet? Be it even a short while. And is that light going to get down in the pores?
And then what about treating with oxalic acid?
All right.
So that's a whole nother thing.
It's a whole nother argument right there.
Yeah,
I'm not afraid to do it.
Question, Bob. It's right up there with Formic.
Yeah, dude, that's a good. Yeah, no way. That's a way.
That's all the labels that I've put on. Just stack of them.
Oh yeah, dude. I was watching that too. DC's blessed. It was. I thought it was Varroa. Was it Foulbrood or Varroa? Dude, they had an issue over in Australia, man. And what they had done, Hey, Mark Miller, good to see you. What the Australian authorities had done, they had basically cordoned off like a 15-kilometer area and certain ports of entry, man, and they forced everybody to burn all their fucking bees, dude.
Well, if it's
Like, you're
was that
talking
ports of
wipe.
entry?
That had to be foul
Yeah, it's
brood.
hard.
It's something. It was
Yeah.
bad though. Or no, it was Varroa. It was Varroa. I remember.
That makes a
it
lot
was,
more sense
in?
because that's
It
their.
was Varroa. Yeah, they were, because Australia has some of the strictest import laws in the world, man. And anytime they find any kind of invasive species, man, they are harsh and they go full force.
Well, we knew it
Okay,
was
that
only
was
a
last
matter
spring.
of time before they got them. You know what I mean?
Okay, that was last spring. Okay, thanks, DC. That's the one I saw. That was last spring, and then the foul brood. Okay.
But they did get them eventually.
Yeah, they did get them, and it was a big deal because oh man, yeah.
The
Okay, cool. Thanks.
I can't believe we got a little over a week to hive life. Week and a half.
No.
Oh, by the way, since we got a lot of people that watch our stream on here at Hive Life, we're going to be set up at Horizontal Hives, Ricky's booth, and we're going to be doing live streams there. So if you see us going live, stop in, and we'll put you on stream.
That's a great thing.
And Lee's been working on getting little headers made up and stuff for people when they stop in. So if you're going to Hive Life, message Lee so he can make sure he's got the setup.
Yo,
You know,
Lee House.
Lee was going to take his laptop and he started getting everything set up with all his new gear and everything. And then it was using like 97% of his resources on his laptop. So he's like, he's like, I'm just taking my computer, the whole thing. Well, not the
Is
whole
it
thing,
really?
but the box. Yeah.
I'll just take the box with him. Yeah, that's all you need is the tower. Yeah, you could run everything off a dock with your tower, basically. Really can.
Man.
He's been working hard, man. He makes me feel bad because he's doing like all this extra, and I'm be like, I'm bringing me.
I know he's bringing like a full broadcast studio. I was like, yeah, I'm coming.
I'm coming. I'll be there.
I'll be there.
No, say, Bob, have you figured out what you wanted to do with those goodie bag thingies?
Oh no, it ended up being that I didn't. I ended up not ordering them because it was just too close. And by the time that I got any feedback, by the time I thought about it and got feedback from somebody on it, it was already like pushing getting it here on time.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought y'all already had them all made.
What kind of goodie bags are you doing, Bob?
No, I was going to do bags, like just bags. So when my people that are selling my swarm lure, they would be packing people's orders up in my bags. So people would be walking around with my logo on the bag around the Hive Life conference.
Yeah,
but
marketing. Yep.
Yeah, it didn't end up getting it done. So it's all right.
Nice.
I do have several hundred bottles of lure. So, and hopefully I don't bring any of it home. But if I do, I'll just sell it on the website.
So on your assembly line there, Bob, how long did it take you to fill 100 bottles?
I filled 200 and something bottles. I filled up 5 gallons worth in less than an hour.
Hey, Philip Morris, RTX Honeybees in the house. How you doing?
Very nice.
What takes me longer because I do it by myself is I fill the line up, and as it's going, I'm pulling them off on the table. And then once my table's full with 100 bottles, I put caps on them, right? Then I start the process over again.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's better to like fill them than go back and yeah.
If I had someone that would just sit here for 30 minutes where I could just put them on, and as I'm putting them on and they're coming off the other side, they're spinning lids on and putting them in the box, then I can just go back and label them like I just did. So, yeah, labeling is the time, but I'm sitting in front of the computer. I just did 100 and something bottles right there. So,
how many can you do in 100 in about an hour? You said
bottles?
Yeah.
Oh no, with that thing, it runs. I want to say I could do if I was a sweatshop and had somebody there doing everything. I think it'll run like
pennies a day.
It fills a new bottle every 2 seconds. Like it runs for 2 seconds, then it moves. Yeah. So I could literally do like 30 a minute.
Yeah, but that little thing is fast that Bob's got, man. That little machine is cool.
Okay.
Did you have
Oh, I actually found in my truck today. I found my bottle of Swarm Commander, and it was just in the console. And I picked it up and smelled it. I said, "Man, that smells just like mine," and put it back in there. So instead of mine smelling like theirs smells like mine.
You had to calibrate that machine, right, for those bottles? Can you?
Yeah, on the time it took to fill them up.
Okay. So there's a calibration process you go
Mhm.
through. It's not necessarily the fluid ounces; it's the time you want.
Yeah, it runs for a certain amount of time and then it stops.
Oh dang. Okay.
So, guys, I see there's like about a dozen watching here, and
Oh, that's because I haven't shared it out yet. Hold on, let me share it.
No, we're good, man. This is
no. What I was asking is that what was everybody else in the audience saying about their temperatures?
Yeah, how's everybody's doing, man? Lee, how's your girls doing, man? Philip, yours
I don't
too,
know.
man.
I came in. He was supposed to go at 9, and he was on. I came over like right at 9, and he was already going. I'm like, oh crap, I missed something.
Yeah, I only came on a few minutes early.
Yeah.
So, what was everybody saying about temperature, Rich? What their temperatures are?
Let's see here. Let's take a peek here. Nobody really said much. Nobody really dropped too much in. Back in the 40 DC, James Noel, he said 21 in the day, 13 at night. There we go. Edward, let's see. Edward wants to know what everybody's buying at Hive Life. Yeah, Lee, dude, the weather's gonna heat up down here in South Texas too, man. It's gonna be like in the 60s, like 70s tomorrow, I think. Let me double check. I was just looking.
I think I'm gonna buy some pollen patties, global patties.
Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be in the 60s, mostly sunny. It's
21
gonna warm up. Man.
40s. DC's got interesting. So all the nukes that Vince and I made, all of them are insulated. Not messing around with that. And they're about R6, but what I wanted to ask folk is that have any of you seen the Ian Stepler's edited mite treatment video he just put out?
If he just put it out, the last one I saw was him doing a spoof, not really a spoof, but a take on Nathan's take on his beekeeping one.
Yeah, it's after that. The video is actually entitled edited on it, but he's talking about switching his mite treatments around and so on and so forth. And one thing I thought was interesting, he wants to get the hell away from oxalic acid because...
Is it the Varroa treatment one?
Yeah, the sublimation, the guns.
So
and it was interesting why he said that, because it's just dangerous. You know, you breathe that stuff in and you're screwed. Now I have a Guardian bee suit. I think it was actually Lee that might have talked me into this indirectly, but it's vented. It's heavy, but it's vented. I will not trade that for anything. But if I'm using that suit while I'm blowing in the hives, I have to take that suit off first before I take my mask off, because there's just a little bit of residual that hangs on it. And it's just, anyways, if you look down in the comments down below on Ian's last video, Bob Binney goes into some great detail about how different chemicals react to one another. Like, for instance,
I got the comment pulled up. You want me to read it?
Bob's?
Yeah.
Oh, please do.
Yeah, it says, hi, and this was really good and very smart. I can't help but add more food for thought if you don't mind. You mentioned synergistic interactions between chemicals as being a potential issue, and also mentioned thymol and oxalic as potential future treatment options. Many ethereal oils, thymol, spearmint, etc., have interactive problems with some other compounds, and oxalic is one of them. Oxalic and thymol don't interact very well. It's not really bad like some interactions, but the problem is definitely there. Most ethereal oils leave a very high residual concentration in beeswax, which can be a major problem. However, the good news is that unlike some compounds, these residuals decrease rapidly, so we just need to leave a little time between using the two. Also, oxalic and formic do not leave a residue in the beeswax. Something else of interest is that amitraz actually interacts with thymol. Oxalic and many other things very well. I'm not a know-it-all on this stuff, but I'm going to give a presentation on it at Hive Life, so I've been looking at it closely. A teaser for you some. Some chemicals for mites which are legal, readily available, and are making a comeback should be avoided at all costs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I guess you got to pay to Hive Life to get the rest of the information.
So I wrote to Bob maybe about 4 months ago, and I asked him about Apogard and oxalic acid. He said I just had no, it wasn't that. It was formic pads, and so on. And I'd be interested in see if it gets them. But it's good to know about the Apogard, because if you get the Apogard, basically you're kind of shutting your queen down to a point. You've got a brood break, similar. And yeah, I'd like to do that and then hit them with OA. Well, it turns out that's not a good idea. So Bob is talking about using oxalic acid over time. I don't know what that's in reference to. I think he's talking about immediately just the chemicals being used simultaneously. Oxalic acid and like essential oils. And he's basically recommending don't mix the two.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Just don't mix it.
Yeah.
That there's interaction between the two. Yeah, he's basically saying oxalic and thymol, they don't interact very well at all.
Well, it's great to know, because even after we put the formic on this spring, I am definitely not going to, for like several weeks. And that's not a good idea. Do the count as far as like egg laying once the queen comes back up.
Yeah.
I'd like to wait some time before I hit him with oxalic as a final, dance on it. Yeah. And then what he was saying about using the oxalic acid pads, it'll be really interesting and very useful for him to talk to Bob Binney about that and the pitfalls that he's had with those. But the fascinating thing gets to the point of having the bees in a doggone shed and hitting with carbon dioxide. I mean, that's pretty fascinating there.
Makes sense, right?
It seems to. And then I wrote to him and I says, I put in the comments, if you're going to do that, or even treat oxalic acid, what temperature do you want to bring your shed up to so that they'll lightly break cluster without, like getting screwed over? And that'll be interesting. Yeah, oxalic acid and glycerin. Excuse me.
Well, I don't know. I've been doing a little bit of book research, not really even book research, internet research on DNA, right? Because everybody's hot topic is like Varroa specific hygiene and sensitive hygiene, whatever you want to call it, VSH, and queens that are mite busters and stuff like that. So I've really been trying to break it down, and of all places, looking at genealogy places, like genealogy websites really explain how you've got your maternal or your maternal DNA, right? You've got your father's DNA, your mother's DNA, and then there's a combination DNA from both of them. But everybody gets their mother's DNA, right? So like their maternal, so you got traits that go directly down the mother's line, like the queens, right? And then you've got DNA that only your father contributes. And then you've got the combination, which makes you of both of them, right? So that's how come if you ever watch Forensic Files and they're talking about mitochondrial DNA, it's only genes that are passed from your mother. So your mother's mother has it, her mother's mother has it, and it's always the same. That DNA line can be traced all the way back just using your mother. So the question then becomes, well, is that trait of being sensitive, like VSH, is that a maternal trait or is that a paternal trait? So is it part of your mitochondrial DNA or is it part of your paternal DNA? So, I mean, this is how my mind works, guys. You guys think I just sit on here and talk and but when I get off of here, I'm like the mad scientist thinking about different ways to think of things. And, why somebody hasn't kind of taken a honeybee and done that DNA experiment to see what the DNA of the honeybee is and see what the father genes are, the mother genes are, and then who's done it? Where's this? I mean, when I say that, I mean, I hear a lot of people talking about, well, we're breeding to get the specific genetic, but I haven't heard anybody say that Oh, well, we
Wait,
found
are you talking? I'm sorry, Bob. Are you talking specifically for the VHS?
well, I mean, to combat mites, right? That's the main thing.
No, because I know that they've done DNA tracing on honeybees. But
Okay, yeah. So
yeah,
then you got to kind of apply both sciences, right?
yeah, very interesting.
The
Very, very
DNA.
That'd be pretty hard to like test the DNA of a honeybee.
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
it's
not
pretty
saying it can't be
easy.
done.
easy. Just
I'm
go.
not saying it can't be done, but like, man, imagine tracing that a lineage.
It's
like
pretty
that.
doggone easy, actually. Have you ever tested the DNA of a fruit fly? You ever do that in school?
Nope.
You're basically squashing the bug and looking it up. They've got really, really big chains, so they're easy to see. That's why they use them in school.
But I mean,
I dissected like pigs and frogs and shit like that.
But so I just kind of went down the rabbit hole of looking. I mean, because again, this is kind of where my background is in pharmaceuticals and chemistry and testing. Not really DNA, but the same thing. Everything's got DNA. Plants have DNA. So it's just a matter of figuring out what of course, it's the $1 million question, literally. If you could figure out what specific gene is the one that makes them want to combat Varroa, right? So that's the gene you're trying to find the bees with that you actually want to influx into your colony, right?
Well, it gets a little bit more interesting because I ran into some fellow giving a talk, and it had to do with some very mite-resistant bees in Norway, and they were trying to figure out what's going on, and it turned out that that particular group of honeybees was actually missing an enzyme in their fat, and so the mites, once they got in there, they were starving themselves out. If a leech attached to me, attached to a stone statue, there's nothing to feed on there, and so
right.
This is actually a new way of looking at it. The problem that they've run into is that anytime they get some bees anywhere next to any other honeybees, they just revert immediately. It's such an isolated thing, and they haven't gone into a deep study, and why the hell they haven't, I don't know. I mean, put them on an island in the middle of the Pacific and give it a run, right? But it was just
look how quick they reverted when they went to another colony. Look how set it made them to reverting back to.
I don't know if they just moved into it, through drift, moved into another one.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, I've been trying to find that guy's talk again, and I'm pretty sure I got a bookmark, and I'll get back.
So what is if we could figure out what the fat is that they love so much, why couldn't we just bait the mites in the colony?
Well,
with
you might be looking at.
We're always losing genetics.
Yeah, you might be looking at what am I looking for here? Feeding methodology of the mites. If they have a preference to, like lampreys and whatnot, and like Superior, they won't attach. You can't feed them. They have to actually be attached to something else.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know. That's a really good question, Bob.
You would think the cold doesn't affect the mites because they're on the bees, and the bees are keeping warm in a cluster like over winter, right?
Yeah.
So you would assume this time of year, the mites would actually be less in number because of the temperature, right? I mean, when I say number, I don't mean percentage of what's in your colony. I mean literal number, right? Because all the graphs we see have mites going up and then going down, right? That's actually concentration of mites to the bees because the bees start to decline, right? Yeah. And hey, Rich, didn't mean to hijack your show, bro, with the rabbit hole, but so the bees numbers are declining. Are the mites numbers actually increasing, or is just the concentration of mites to the number of bees that you actually have?
Bluetooth connected.
Question we should all know immediately the answers to it because we've all seen the charts. So,
well, they make it look like the bees. It says, well, they start to, same thing with beetles, right? So the beetle numbers start to increase as the number of bees start to decline. So it's it just gets to the point that like, well, we're treating. Then those numbers should also be going down.
Yeah.
Because every time Catherine revved up the microwave, I'd piss my pants and forget who I was for a half hour or so.
All right.
Oh, that one. So, Rich, what's going on in your brain pan tonight? This is your show.
Nothing, man. I just want to come on and chat with some beekeepers tonight. No, it's just, yeah, I figured come out of this shit weather, man. Everybody was stressed out going into it. My mentor's got 60 colonies out there. He's sweating bricks on because he was worried about colony collapse disorder. He calls me the other day. He's like, Rich, I don't know what the hell's going on with my bees, but he's like, I have one set of colonies, and I'm losing bees. But he's like, it's not colony collapse because I don't see the bees dead in the box. But he's like, my bees are right in the path of a migratory route. I'm like, yeah, there's your problem. There's probably birds just picking your bees off, sitting right in the trees.
How many other hives are in with that one?
I'm not sure. Not sure.
See, if that's just an outliner, I wonder if that particular hive just got in some poison in the fall.
I have no clue.
Yeah.
No clue.
Keep us. Oh, by the way, I got to inject this. I'm sorry. All the winter folk and whatnot that are anybody, if you have a dead out in spring, I would encourage everybody to do mite washes on those things.
On dead outs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I don't get too many dead outs. I get absconds. They're just gone when you go back. There's no dead bees in the bottom. There's no resources. They're just gone.
Well, good for you. But everybody else that has dead outs, or even if you're doing like I have to do, scraping out the bottom in the in the winter, take the scrape outs. And Troy and I did that last spring. It was pretty damn revealing.
Really?
But I would encourage everybody to do that. So it's a great practice that nobody talks about. So
will the dead bees still hold the mites, Mike?
No, not all the time. It depends what kind of what the situation is. It absolutely drops them down, because if the mites are trying to jump from bee to bee because they're not, the bee died off, the mites are still there. So we actually do a whole scrape off of the doggone thing, so we're getting any dead mites too. And then we do a separate one with I can't put the picture up. Just open up the box and all the bees are clustered right on top and they're dead. Well, those mites wouldn't have any place to go. And the conventional thought is that those mites just drop off and try to find something else. But we found that in doing a mite wash on the top of those dead outs, we did find mites. So other people are apparently wrong, or we're just really unique. But I just wanted to.
Yeah, I don't think like we could sit here and talk about like, oh, we're gonna get Varroa sensitive bees, like we're gonna breed out that genetic, but I don't think it's ever gonna happen, honestly.
I don't either.
It's never gonna happen. There's no way. I think we might be able to breed some Varroa sensitive bees, and people say, oh, my bees are Varroa sensitive, but honestly, and
yeah,
I think it's too prevalent. They're too prevalent.
That's like
they're too prevalent, man, and they've gotten too out of control. The population of bees is too small now to overcome the Varroa population. If we had a bigger bee population, the Varroa population might not be so big. Or if we had a way to combat Varroa other than chemicals, like some kind of symbiotic.
What else do Varroa live on besides honeybees?
Birds, from what I understand.
Birds.
Arby's sandwiches, I think.
Arby's sandwiches.
Arby's sandwiches.
You have to put the BBQ sauce on it, though. Otherwise, they just kind of walk away.
I like the horsey sauce. You got to put the horsey sauce
on it. Oh, I love the horsey sauce.
And then if you mix the horsey sauce and the BBQ sauce together and the Arby's sauce together, put it together, good to go.
Okay, I'm going to go finish making supper here. That's actually... You kind of
now he's got him hungry talking about.
Look at his cat in the background. He's like chilling right over his left shoulder here. Look at him. Look at his cat.
Oh yeah, that's the old man there.
He's all, hey, I'm in the live stream with you guys today. Okay, let's talk to bees.
There you go. Yeah, that's Magellan. He's
Magellan.
Yeah, he's all, got a special place right on top of the birthplace mantle.
He's all, hey, my dad shot this deer. Okay.
By the way. That doggone deer dressed out was close to 400 pounds.
What?
It's one of the biggest ever shot in Minnesota. Yeah, it's pretty freaky, but yeah. Dad shot the thing, and he thought when it got up and started pulling at the air, he said, "Oh shit! I just thought he shot an elk."
We got ghetto deer down here.
I read about some guy here in Texas.
Ghetto deer. Okay, I'm gonna go eat supper.
Ghetto deer.
Ghetto deer. Yeah, they're like just.
Hey, be good, Mike.
They're smaller deer.
Oh,
crackhead deer.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, I'll talk to you all soon.
All right, be good, Mike. Stay warm, man. Thanks for dropping in, man.
You too. Bye-bye.
See you, man. Bye.
I might actually be going on a hog hunt this next week. I don't know.
Where at?
Right here, local. Some property nearby. So
Yeah, they do those down here in Texas because the Spanish pigs are so they're so invasive, man. If you see what they do to the land down here, man, they tear it up. They're an agricultural disaster, basically. They really are. The hunters out here, they just shoot them and they just leave them there for fertilizer, basically, at that point.
And then that brings the coyotes in. Then they can shoot the coyotes eating on the wild hog.
Yeah, and you guys, if you've seen some of the size of these pigs they're shooting down here, they're the size of a small Volkswagen, man.
I've seen them in a helicopter flying over the fields and just
shoot, they're huge. Bob, they're huge. You know, some of these things down here, you hit a deer, right? Different. But here in Texas, you hit a pig in your car, it's going to total your car. They'll total your car. A deer will too, but a pig will flip your car.
It'll flip it?
Oh, yeah, pigs. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, dude, the pigs down, they're huge, man. They came over with the Spanish in the 1800s, man. That's how they came here to Texas, dude. And
I thought they came from the West Texas town of El Paso.
Hello. Spanish, when the Spanish came over, and they were all over, man. So, yeah.
Yeah, pigs roll under the car.
I saw some guy hit one, dude, and it damn near flipped his car, man. He was driving a little, like, I don't know, a little Toyota, but yeah, but it messed his car up.
But it's all right if it messed the car up if it has one of the big mosquito exhausts on it. Would have been fun.
It was the biggest pig I'd ever seen, Bob. I was like, dude, that guy just hit that thing, and it was yeah.
I don't know. I've seen some pretty big pigs at the E Club. Oh my god.
Yeah, 38 to the head. Yeah, but see, now they're down here hunting them with high-powered rifles, man. They're hunting them with like
ARs.
Yeah, they're hunting with like ARs now, man. They're hunting with like 7.62s, 5.56. Yeah, man, they're hunting with like high-powered ARs, man. And the thing is it's legal down here. You don't even need to have a hunting license, man. You really don't.
It's the same here. It's a nuisance pest, right?
It is, yeah. It's considered a nuisance pest. Yep.
Like the yotes, the coyotes, which I haven't seen on my camera. Probably all hunkered down for the cold.
Yeah, just like everybody else is, right?
But yeah, man, my hair's looking mighty messed up tonight.
You're gonna get a haircut. What?
I had this Scully on, and
that dirt for battle.
It'll be cleaned up, but see, I'm starting to get that. And if I cut it too short, then it looks like I got the, Bozo the Clown poof in the front.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
just the heat miser, man. Just.
Do you see how we used to do it? 22 right between the eyes, and you cut their throat, man. Bleed them out, knock them out, and you bleed them. You got with a pig. You draw a cross X right between the eyes, man. It's got to be dead center, man.
I ran out of chickens and the coyotes.
The coyotes and I ran out of chickens.
You know, half of me wanted to take the turkey carcass from Christmas and chuck it out there right where they normally show up to see it. Probably the fox would be the first one, or the raccoons would be the first ones over there to get it.
Bob ran out of chickens. Guy's like, hey, Bob, I ate all your chickens.
Yeah. Hey, you got any more of them delicious chickens?
hey, Philip, how's your girls doing, man? Did they pull through okay with the cold, man?
Phil's near you? Philip near you?
Yeah, I think Phil's down here I think he's down here in Texas, man.
In Tejas?
I think he's down by Houston, if I remember correctly. Phil, you're in Houston area, right? Can't remember. But yeah, he's in Texas here. Yeah, we were talking about how bad the honey flow was this year, the nectar flow. He was expecting 300 to 500 pounds. He only got 30 to 40. Yeah, that's what we were talking last stream about.
This year I got like 200 pounds, like 4 buckets.
Yeah, no.
240, 250, something like that. But I wasn't expecting that much this year because next year, hopefully, knock on wood. It's always next year, man. It doesn't matter if it's football, beekeeping, farming. Well, next year I'm going to do this. We'll see.
Yeah. I'm still not. I won't get any next year either. Nope. There's no way. No.
You'll get some. You'll get some honey next year.
It'll all go back to the bees because I haven't been in my girls since.
I'm gonna try to run the risk, bro. I'm gonna try to just pack them damn bees. I want to look at a box of bees. When I take that top off, I want to see bees. You know what I mean? So I'm going to try to slam them full.
Yeah. Okay, so he was up in Dallas.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm
Philip.
not-
Hey, can I pull up your video, man? Can we watch your close call today? Is that cool or what? I don't want to pull your video up without your permission, man. Is that cool? 4 hives, 296 pounds, Michael.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you at?
He's in Vermont.
Okay, he's in Vermont. Okay, cool.
But they got a different dynamic than we have.
Dude, my old man, sorry, he's up in Oregon too, and like I know, like that's kind of area-ish, you know, same
Right.
latitude and longitude. Dude, he sent me some bomb-ass honey, dude.
Well-
So good.
So the way I kind of look at it is we start off way before everybody else, right? Down here in the South. And then once they start, they pretty much have their summer flow and fall flow seem like they just kind of run together into one really defined period.
Yep.
Where ours start out good. And if you're not on the spot pulling honey or swapping boxes or don't have the drawn comb, then by the time they drawn it out, it's like the dearth, right? Then they start eating it. Right. And then we might get a fall flow and fill it back up. But it's kind of weird down here because we got that big gap in the middle where there's nothing.
All right, I'm gonna pull up Philip Morris. Looks like he uploaded for us. Phil, I'm gonna go and pull your video up. Let's see what Philip has.
What's this one about?
Looks like, where did they go? Did my bees die? Christmas Day dead. I said he looks like he had a close call, so that's cool, man. I like to see both ends of it, man. Looks like he had some honey too come out of one of his colonies. So here we go, Philip. We're gonna pull your video up. See how everybody's doing. Right on, Phil. Thanks for sharing, man. Appreciate you.
That's some good looking hives right there, man.
Yeah,
I like
definitely. Right.
Well, it's Christmas Day. Weather's warmed up to, it's in probably mid 40s, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. After several days of cold weather, the girls are really flying.
Yeah, they are. They sure are.
Look.
They sure are.
I was getting a few little bees, not even that many out of mine today.
Yeah. You know what's really cool about this? Like,
it's the ones that got to poop.
Well,
So
point this out though. You don't need much space to set up a few hives.
No, not at all.
You really don't. If you want to keep bees, this is a good point to point out. Like, if you want to start your own bees, look, you don't need that much space. You really don't. What is that? 20 feet, 20 square feet right there, maybe?
Well, you figure if that's like maybe an 8-foot board across there, maybe 12.
How long is that run, Philip? About 8-10 feet? It's about a 10-foot run. Yeah, his lids. I like his lids too. Look, he put the tin roof on it, man. That's a good idea. Weatherproof it, man.
He's got that double nuke will do good.
Yeah, right.
Out strong. He'll be able to pop that in a 10 frame and drop a
Yep.
super right on it.
Is that a double? Is that a double 5 frame?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Looks like a double 5.
It's an 8x10. Okay. So it's okay. Nice. Okay. So yeah, nice.
Everybody in the sun's really flying. This group here hardly ever sees any sun, but they are taking advantage and flying a little bit. Colony over here faces this way. Saw one go in there.
Hey, I want me one of those slides coming off a back deck like that.
Sun.
That slide he's got right there, Bob.
Now, did you see the slide on his back deck? There's a yellow slide coming down, like for the kids to come off the deck.
Oh, no way.
To the ground.
On the landing boards makes a huge difference.
That's light goals for me.
This colony here is empty. This colony has no activity.
They're just clustered up in there, probably.
A bit concerned.
Oh, look at him.
So let's just peek in there and see.
Somebody joined the stream here. That's who we got here. Hey, Philip Morris, how you doing? Philip Morris, all the way from Dallas.
Hey, Philip.
Good to see you, man. How you doing?
Good. You were having questions. I couldn't type fast enough. You lured me in.
No, he's got a good-looking yard, man. And like I like pointing out like how simple it is and how much space you don't need to start a bee yard. You know, for people that are wanting to get into it. You know, like
People
your
used to
yard's
give me crap bro, about having my hives so close together. I was like,
they'll figure it out.
yeah, they know where home is.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you
Who's got an
actually.
Who's got an open mic?
That's you got to mute YouTube or close your YouTube.
Hey, something's happening. Hold on.
Oh, he's got two of them open.
But the
Is that better? Or is
you still got the
let me get out and come back in. I had you guys on the TV and the phone. I think there's some overlap.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll bring you right back in, RTX. Let him join back in here real fast.
that. Who knows? I'm. See, it's this time of the year where I start planning the expansion. Oh, we still got a loop now.
What's that?
We still have a loop.
Do we?
I don't know why. We didn't have it before.
All right. Let me stop that. Let me restart the share screen. Let me wait for him to pop back in, and then
Oh yeah, okay.
there's RTX's
It's not Bob. Bob hadn't changed anything. Bob's been sitting here the whole time. It had to be either Rich when he shared his audio when he was sharing the screen.
yeah, it had to have been like when I was sharing audio. Yeah. Sometimes, man, if it
StreamYard's good, but it does have some quirks to it.
yeah, if sound isn't locked tight, it's like the best way to operate these streams. Honestly, everybody headphones hardwired.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it really is the best way to operate these streams. Have a mic or a dynamic mic, or even these mics right here that are hooked up to headphones. That works the best because one is going to cancel out all noise. Yeah, this is really the best way for these streams to run smoothly. I'll mute all your backgrounds. You run OBS in a
Always
StreamYard.
Bob.
See, I haven't. Lee, I'm gonna have to learn how to do that, man. I got a Stream Deck, bro, and I'm extremely disappointed with it because I just got it and like they did an update on it, and I can't even load sounds in it too anymore, man. I'm super depressed about it because I was just learning how to function it,
Oh,
man.
he runs OBS into StreamYard, so he uses OBS as his camera.
Yep. Well,
See,
no, he runs OBS into StreamYard. There's ways you can do that. Yeah.
the
And Bob singing is an odd thing. What was that the other night? Right.
oh, what are you talking about? My app, the app where I was doing the "Do you want to build a snowman?"
5 virtual cams.
Oh, 5 virtual cams. Great day. That's the well, I'm bringing a pickup truck that has no covered bed, so I'm gonna have to Hive Life. I'm gonna have to slam everything into the cab, right into the extend cab, and hopefully I don't have to bring the lure home and work it that way.
Russell, how's your bees, man? Just see you got in the chat, man. How's your girls doing? Doing all right? Make it through okay?
I sold some honey today. Someone came by and bought a couple. There he is.
We go. Phil Morris. There we go.
Tell me if that's working better, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're better now.
Okay. Trying to go with my remote mic, and maybe that helps too.
The is excuse me. Hey, so that slide comes from your deck?
Yeah, that was one of those swing sets that has like a tower and a rock wall and all that stuff, and
Right.
getting rid of that. And one of my kids went, "Oh, don't get rid of the tower." They wanted to hang out up there, but they don't really stay up there much.
I thought that was a deck coming off the back of your house. That
No, that would be cool.
That'd be
No,
like,
it was just what was left over from an old swing set when my kids were young.
just think how great that'd be. You just could drop like bags of charcoal down it and take it to your grill. I actually saw
Jumps and bags of charcoal.
had a giant it was a smoker, but it was shaped like a bee smoker. It looked like a bee smoker, but it was a barbecue smoker. So I thought that was pretty cool. On the Book of Faces the other day.
So Philip, you said this one is a dead out possum. Dead out?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know where you were on that video. About a minute in, I get to the colony where I'm at least thinking it's a dead out.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out, man. I'm curious. I just want to see, man. I'm not here to talk.
When's it
set up, man?
When is it supposed to warm up for you, Russell? Russell, sorry. I'm reading the box. When's it supposed to warm up for you down there?
We were pretty warm today. I did an OA treatment on those colonies today. It was about 54 degrees.
See, I would have popped it open at 54 degrees.
They're flying today here.
They're flying.
Well, if you watch the video, I did pop. It was 45 degrees when I popped the colony open, but I popped them open expecting they were dead.
Yeah, I want to check your video. Let's check it, man. Let's
check it out.
Who went out here today, man? Let's see what you're doing.
You guys are going to find out with me whether or not we got a problem or not.
Yeah, here's where I popped them open the first time, and I don't see anything.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any bees there. Pause you guys so I can really open this up and see what's going on. It looks like we might have a dead out. I'm going to go ahead and dig down a little deeper. I'm not seeing any bees. I made a mistake and didn't get my microphone plugged in correctly, I guess. So please bear with me and I'll try to explain what I'm doing here. I think I'm explaining how I added this box as part of a combination and had intended on taking it off. But the bees, the last time I checked this colony, the bees had already moved up into that box. So I'm checking the weight. It was very heavy. A lot
Free
of
honey.
This colony.
Free honey, everybody.
That's it. That's your winter harvest.
Same result. Not seeing any bees.
Yeah, but it's probably contaminated with sugar water, so I don't take that.
Not hearing any bees.
You see nothing, huh?
So I'll go ahead and remove that box, which is quite heavy.
Is that what they call funny honey? It would have been like sugar water, basically.
Yeah, sugar syrup.
Okay.
I'm taking you guys for a look inside the box here. Once again, I'm not seeing anything.
They were quiet. I didn't hear a thing.
You didn't hear anything at this point either, huh?
Yeah, I just knew they were dead.
They moved all down to the bottom box.
Second box.
Yeah, you'll see in a second what I saw.
Medium. I consider it to be part of the brood nest. You can see that it's full of capped honey. So there's no reason that the bees would have starved to death. So now we're going to take off this box and see what's in the bottom box. Again, I'm expecting to see see if there's dead bees in the box. I move it and I see something and I open up and oh boy, look at that. Those are bees.
Nice.
And you'll
Nice, man. I wish I could work my bees in no suit though. Lucky.
Well, I would not have gone into them had I known they were in there alive.
Yeah. Look at that though, man. That's good news, man. Look at that.
That was like
big
a Christmas
cluster.
present right there.
Right? Opening that up. I was gonna say how stressed, like, were you like?
Yeah, if you let it roll, I'll give you a real close look at them. They were pretty active.
These bees, in fact, are not dead. They're alive.
Nice, man.
At this moment, I'm wanting to bring the camera over, but I have to hold on to the box. I didn't want to pull it back and squish the bees. So I'm in a dilemma here.
Man, that's good news.
Welcome to my world of video, and that's how mine are always. Crap.
I'm really new at this too.
No, man, this is awesome, man.
It is the best way to me is you get to see everything.
Yeah,
you're not
we're human, man. We're human.
I've knocked nukes over.
So what a gift this Christmas. We
Yeah,
still
look at
have
those
live bees.
It's a nice looking cluster there, man.
Yeah, they were doing
1, 2, 3, 4.
Now,
What is that?
did
5
you
frames?
put the whole thing back together, or did you just condense them down since they were?
No, yeah, I didn't put that deep back on it. I took that deep and took the ones that were full of honey and put them in the freezer.
Yeah, that's what I would have done too. Just condense them down into
Yeah.
that
Well, I
one box.
didn't condense them down because it looks like that cluster is going into the top, and the honey reserves are that whole top box is full of their honey reserve.
Is
So I
that
left
that's a
it-
deep or is that a medium on top right there?
that's a medium on top. So deep
Yeah.
on. I do 1.5.
That's exactly what I would have done and put the top back on it and put it back together.
So what
Yeah,
did you do,
yeah,
Philip? If you
yeah,
don't mind me
yeah.
asking,
You'll see. I get out of them pretty quick after I, celebrate a little bit.
how did you break this? How did you break this situation down? I'm curious because I'll if I face this, I want to know how to like handle it. Okay, how'd you handle this?
Well, yeah, just let it go. What I do is just put them back together, and
Okay.
yeah, I'll just drop that box and put the top right back on. But that deep that was on top of them
You took
came
that
off
one
of
off.
another colony when I did a combine at the end of the year. That colony had gone queenless, so I combined. This
Okay.
was my weakest colony, so I combined the colony that was, had lost their queen with this colony.
Now this colony next month at this time will be slammed.
Dude, look, it's already looking
Will
like
be,
to get there.
they will be. I mean, if you were here, well, you're in Texas, so
Yeah,
we're Dallas and us. You're right on I-20, right?
Yeah, pretty much. But yes, I am.
And I'm
Yep.
on I-20, so we're just about the same longitude, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Longitude.
Right.
Yep.
We're about at the same longitude, so I believe this colony next month will be. You'll have a box of bees. That thing will be slam full.
So this was a combined colony, is what you said, Philip.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome, man.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I had a lot of strong colonies, but this was the weaker one, so that's the reason I combined it with the one that had gone queenless.
Thanks, Lee. It's latitude, not
How strong was the one that was queenless? Was it just as weak, or was it about the same strength?
It was a little bit weaker than this one.
Okay.
But not a whole lot. I mean, the one that went queenless was crazy strong. It was my second strongest colony in the yard.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
But they had lost their queen, and they were, they were dropping pretty fast. And I think the queen had been gone for. I'm trying to think. I don't think they ever went to laying worker. But I think they had been queenless for about a month. And
Oh wow.
I don't think that the queen had ever made winter bees. So
Okay.
they probably weren't going to do much more than just help gather a little bit more before winter came.
Yeah. Let's finish your video.
And a decent sized cluster. I think they may make it through the winter. Pretty happy about that and feeling a little bit embarrassed at this point. But better to be embarrassed with live bees than correct with dead bees. All I can say about this is you should always go in. I just got stung right there, which I deserved for disturbing these bees. I mean, it was
Little humbling experience.
mid-40s, but
Blessed you.
I think the lesson to be learned here is, different colonies are going to behave differently. Some are going to fly and some are going to stay in cluster. These bees really weren't getting the sun that the other bees were getting. That could have been one reason. Could be just maybe there are less bees in here, so they don't stay as warm. But for whatever it is, we still have all of our bees alive, and we're really happy about that.
That's awesome.
So
yeah,
this was a good extra Christmas gift. They're starting to come out and ping me in the head here. You'll see.
saw that one. Got
They
you.
didn't sting me, but they were hitting me.
I didn't get stung there, but they were bouncing off my head.
So
that's what I get for not wearing a veil.
For you guys today, and hope you guys had a Merry Christmas, and I will talk to you later.
Right on, man. That's good news.
Yeah, that's my thing right now is I'm waiting for it to get warm enough so I can go around and check the boards, see which ones are flying. So it'll be a few more days here, but they should be going.
I'm not somebody that wants to go in there without a plan, but I was for sure they were dead, and I was just going to go in there and try to save the resources.
Yeah.
That was my own purpose.
It's better to go in there, man, and see them alive, dude.
Yeah.
That's good news, man.
Yeah, I think that colony in a month or whenever it starts warming up good for you, like consistently. I know last year at the end of January, mine were slammed full. They had already started producing bees. really well. And man, that thing's going to be pumping.
Yeah, mine were out flying today, and they're looking real healthy already. I need to get in them this week. I'll probably
I
do
only
that
had a few
Sunday.
bees coming out today. You know, it could also be that they didn't need to fly because they had plenty of stores. They had everything they needed. There was really no need for them to go out. You know,
Yeah,
but
that could be.
but they look really good, man. That's good. I've got some that one colony that I had that had 2 queens in it, and I guess neither one of them was laying. I don't know, because they just started going smaller and smaller, and they're in there out there in one single medium right now. It's just a bottom board, a medium, and a cover, and that's it. So I'd be surprised to see what happens to them.
I had one time that it had a beautiful queen in it, but they kept making queen cells, and I kept knocking the queen cell down. They just built it back like a week later. So I finally said, you know what? I'm just gonna let them replace the queen. So
Let them do what they want to do, right?
yeah. So then I went in and I had, like you had, I had 2 queens. I had the new one that they replaced, and they didn't kill the old queen. So I said, okay, well, I'll just move the old queen into a split, get another colony out of it. I moved it into a split, and they died because the queen was there and she looked to be mated, but she wasn't laying any eggs.
Right.
So that's why they were allowing her to stay there. And like I said, when I moved her over where she had to carry the load, then
She couldn't do it.
Then yeah, she couldn't do it. So the bees know best.
I watched the video series, and this video series, I don't know how I missed it, because I watch pretty much everything Black Mountain Honey puts out.
Right.
But he does a good job of doing series of videos that he does over a long period of time. I'm not organized enough to keep all my files and where they needed to be and everything.
Me either.
But he did one, and it was, how many nukes can I get from one single hive?
Yeah, I saw that he did an update on that the other day.
He did like 40 nukes out of one colony.
40 nukes, yeah.
So
he is adding queens. He's adding queens and drawing combs. So
makes it a little bit easier. They're not having to do any, well, I hate to say do any work, but they're not having to draw comb like crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot of work, resource building, drawing comb.
But they had, I mean, he literally, first thing he did in the spring was he went and he made his single 10 frame box. He put another box on top of it, right? So he had 10 or 20 frames, and he let them build out in the 20 frames. And then he made 10 2-frame splits in his nukes, and then added a queen. So he split that one colony 10 times into 2-frame nukes, and then added mated queens to them all, and then gave them a few weeks and split those into another 10.
Yeah, he was splitting it like every month, and splitting them like 2 times each. So just it
don't take longer. You take 10, and then you go to 20, and then you split those 20.
Now you're up to 40.
It's 40, yeah.
Like you double it, then you're now you're what, at 80?
But 40 queens, just do the math on that. That's
I'm looking forward to his next video where he's going to put them all in one yard. That's going to be kind of cool.
Yeah, that's like number 10. I'm not a subscriber, but the last video in this thing was for subscribers only. Thank you for the reminder, because I actually did not smash.
Oh, was it? Yeah, I am a subscriber of his.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm subscribed to his channel, but I don't monetize him, right? I don't.
Oh no, I'm not a member of the channel. I saw the last one he did where he was splitting to get to 40, I think, but that's the last one I saw.
So that's that's kind of what I wanted to do, but somebody also said on our last live stream to do a
hey, Brian.
Do a demo, but instead of like the 1 frame you drop down with the queen and the brood, put a grafting frame with queen bees, right, that you've grafted in the top. So the bees that are up there with the brood finish out those cells for you. So you've got 1 colony, but the top part is actually like a finishing box, and the bottom is the actual brood box. So that'll be interesting. I might try that this year. So we'll see. But I'll probably buy a bunch of queen cells, like from queen breeder locally, and try to make my splits with queen cells. Save them a bit. I don't know.
Hey,
I'll tell you what I did last year that worked really well for me, because I'm still intimidated by the concept of
Flower
grass.
Street.
I tried it one time, and I didn't set up the cell builder strong enough, so it didn't work. But what I did last year, I had a colony that was super strong with a lot of drones in it, no swarm cells. I just pulled the queen and like a frame of brood and maybe food and moved it and let them go. And I came back in a week and they had made about, I don't know, 13 really strong.
Right.
They were emergency cells, but they looked like swarm cells. They were really big, nice ones. So then I just started splitting off of those and left them. And I ended up making, I basically made 2 frame nukes, but I put like just an extra empty frame next to them. So they were 3 frame splits. And I ended up doing 6 of those. I put 2 cells in each. I remember that, just as a little insurance. So I did 6 of those, plus where I moved the queen to, that's 7, plus the original colony I left cells in that. So that was 8 possible colonies. And I ended up getting 7 out of 8 to take.
Nice, man.
That's good.
I'm going to try to do that again this year with my colony that made me the most honey. I'm going to do the same thing.
Now, Philip, do you have a Duke yard set up?
No, I don't. I mean, I have, I just have this little spot out here, but I'm going to clear out a lot of these big colonies, take them down to the farm, and I'm going to set up breeding nukes and mating nukes. I hope the video, I've actually got a little, that little double nuke stack you guys saw in the video.
Yep.
That's actually, those are actually mini mating nukes. I can divide those into 3 in each box. So I can make 6 out of that stack. I can make 6 mini mating nukes. So the frames in there are just little, I don't know, 6-inch wide by 9-inch deep frames.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've made several more of those boxes.
So those 2 boxes, you could actually split those 2 boxes into, you just put a split down the middle, basically.
Yeah, I put a divider. Those have grooves where I can slide a little board between them.
Nice.
I'm hoping to do some good. What's that?
You going to Hive Life conference?
I'm not. I'm kicking myself for not signing up. And I even had a free place to stay up there. My father-in-law lives in Sevierville.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice, man.
But yeah, I told my wife I was going to go, and she's all for me going, but I just, wasn't sure about it. And then of course it's full now, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. 30-hour drive, Brian. You handle that, man.
It's a 14-hour drive because I make it every year in the summer.
Yeah, you handle that one, Brian. Not 30-hour drives, man.
Mine's 4.5, 5 hours from here. So it's not.
If I were to take it from here, Brian, it would probably be something like that.
You're probably a little further than I am.
Yeah, I'm South Texas. I'm San Antonio. Yeah. Yep.
No, Brownsville is South Texas.
Yeah, Brownsville. That's where they execute all the death.
Brownsville's way.
That's where they kill everybody.
That's the very tip of Texas.
Yeah, that's where they execute everybody.
That's North Mexico.
Yeah, that's North Mexico.
I think it's East Mexico.
East Mexico.
Yeah, 5:30 looks like Brian's got a wedding first, then he's gonna drive. Brian drive like a trucker.
You better stop by Timmy's and pick up some coffee for the trip, or Dunkin', the big box full of coffee that you can get from Dunkin'.
I watched Brian's video today, and it made me cold just watching it.
I'm cold right now, and it's like 70 degrees in the house. So it's
yeah, Brian, how's your girls doing, man?
He says they're all alive, but he was only out there about 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was some
longer than I would have been.
Bitter cold, man. Even down here in South Texas, it was cold, man. Cold.
Yeah, it's
no joke,
abnormal, right?
Well, I was talking to John about it, my mentor, and like we talk about it, maybe the cold being kind of a part of the health of the bees too. But this kind of cold this many years in a row, like, you know, pretty hardcore, man. We've had 3 years of pretty intense cold in a row. Think about it. We had
I
snow
think
again, which was what, 2021, 20, I can't remember.
I think I would rather lose my colonies going into winter than actually coming out in the spring. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't want to lose any of them, but if I have to lose them, I think I would rather lose them going in.
That's what John tells me. Lose them going into the winter, man. It's the best thing. He said lose them going in and then have bees coming out is he said you're always going to lose going into the winter. That's one thing my mentor keeps telling me. Rich, you're always going to lose bees going into the winter. It's just the way it is because the summer and spring bees, they die off. Then you're going to get your winter bees. And that's just the way the cycle works. You're going to lose bees. They dwindle down.
Right.
That's just the part of it, man.
I've gone through 2 winters and haven't lost any colonies, but I've lost some in the summer, in the dirt.
Yeah, the dearth gets us hard over.
Yeah, same. Yeah, same here.
I think a lot of people that lose bees in the winter, those hives are probably pretty much lost going into the winter.
But what my mentor was saying, like the hives that he went into winter with, he's like, they weren't gonna make it for sure. He was like, they were already weak, and he's like, I was worried about it from the get go. I mean, my colony, it's a cutout, and they're flying, so I know they're not dead. I only got one to worry about. He's my mentor. He's probably got about 50 boxes he's got to worry about.
See, now you can take that one and split it into 40 next year.
If I could make 3 or 4 splits,
bees.
yeah, if I could make 3 or 4 splits out of that one colony, dude, I'll be happy. I got 3 other boxes sitting in my room ready.
I went from 5 to 25 my first season.
5 to 25. Holy shit.
And then I thought, it was stressful. I built all my own equipment, so I'm building equipment all summer long.
Yeah.
And so I just didn't stop. I kept building equipment all the way through to the next year, thinking I was going to need 20 more. And I ended up, basically, I've got 1 more colony than I had. So, I have all this extra equipment now. I don't have to build equipment all winter.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was just a different kind of year. I caught, 14 or 15 swarms, and this year I caught 2. Yeah.
See, I look what Brian does. Like he's managing 11 hives, and I want to. I have to set my yard for 15. That's what I want to max at, 15. If I could maintain like Brian, and keep it at 11, or at 15, and sell the excess bees off, and put that money back into the health of the bees, the yard, whatever.
So Brian, I've been watching the old episodes of Fred Dunn. I've gone back to like the first frequently asked questions, and when I'm driving, I just play them one after the other.
Right.
You wouldn't believe how many times Fred says, "I will never have more than 10 hives." I don't have any. Whenever I get more than 10 hives, I'm giving away the bees to all. Fred's got like 25 colonies now. And that was only 3 years ago that he was saying that.
Right. Well, they do 2 things, right? They multiply and make honey. That's it.
Yeah.
So,
They're going to multiply and they're going to make honey. They're going to store it. Yep. And they're going to make wax. Yeah.
and yep, that's the thing. So I've got plenty of boxes right now. I'm not really sweating boxes right now, but I said that my first year, right? And then all of a sudden I'm like, I got plenty of equipment. I didn't even use all the equipment I've got. Then the second year, in the middle of the season, I'm like, I'm out of boxes.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to be in.
Watch because I have a life.
Because I have a life.
See, yeah, Brian, that's I think 15, man, for a backyard beekeeper, that for my space is ample. Then I can set up some out yards, man.
See, but then you'll go and you'll start doing like me, and you'll start looking at this cheap Texas land out in the middle of nowhere.
You can do it. You can go to your county appraisal district.
Trust me.
You could find, dude, I'm telling you, you could find acres of property for like $5,000, $10,000. And again, you buy them from the county appraisal district. And what I'm trying to do, I mean, it's a long story, but if I could long run, I would like to set up like an organization out here of veterans and get a piece of property and have a full blown like beekeeping operation on it. All done by veterans.
Well, all you really need is, enough acres where they're not bothering your neighbors, because the bees are going to trespass. So,
right.
Just be in an area that's
You can't
remote.
see your property lines.
Well,
Yeah.
and I got neighbors finally, and they decided to build their dog pen about 40 feet from my damn bee yard. I'm like, come on.
You should have been like,
guys.
hey, you might not want to put that right there.
Well, you know what? I am courteous. When I work my bees, I'm like, hey, I'm going to work bees today. Will you guys put your dogs inside for a few hours? And you know what? My neighbors are real friendly. They don't have any problem with it because we live in the country.
Right.
So
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, we'll put them inside. Don't even sweat it.
See, if they would have said no, it'd be like, okay, then just no. They
Yeah,
might
sorry, okay.
might take
Yeah,
a
your
half
dog's
look
gonna
at
get
it.
stung today, then probably.
They might take the L today. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, see, and that's location. That's a big one. Location,
Mhm.
DC. Is there pollen around and good windbreak?
See, my demographic has changed around here where we had farm fields, a bunch of farm fields, and now they're starting to develop into apartment complexes and houses and stuff.
The more you know, the less you mow.
Not
Telling you.
really around my house. I mean, they are back, but it's spots that the bees were still going to right in the past, and now they don't have those. So, well, hell, even the coyotes are starting to come in the yard. So,
Yeah, windbreak for the elevate the
Well-
bee flight path.
You can look at that two ways. I mean, my bees down at the farm have not made honey since I put them down there of any, because the first time they were just, oops, sorry about that, dropped my phone.
Come on, Tony, fix this.
The first summer they were just building up,
Mhm.
didn't expect to make much. But last summer it was stupid dry. You guys, it was crazy. But up here in the suburbs, everybody waters everything, so the bees didn't even notice the drought. So I made a lot of honey,
Right.
in Capel, but I didn't make. I made, like I said, 35 pounds down there, and I made 300 and something pounds here in Capel off of, quarter of the hive.
Right.
Edward, I would too, man. I would really. I'm gonna see if I can just get the plans from him. Just see if he'll let me. He said he'd shoot me the plans, man, and maybe me and my mentor can build one. Yeah, I would definitely like one of his horizontal hives, man, because I do have a crap shoulder.
When you keep bees in the suburbs, you've got to, when mine start to get a little feisty, I move them down to the country. I don't take any chances. I don't want them stinging my neighbors.
Yeah,
I had some that were stinging my neighbors, and I hauled them down there.
yeah. See,
Dealt
that's
with
what I'm
them.
worried about. My neighbors across the street have kids, and the bus stop is right there. But my bee yard's opposite side of the yard. I'm on an acre, but I still live in the country, kind of ruralish, But I don't know. We live in an agricultural county.
They typically don't mess with anybody unless you've really done some
Yeah, something dumb. Yeah,
in-depth splitting or inspections, and they're already a little bit aggressive.
yeah. See, if I was ever gonna do anything like that, I'd either make sure one, the kids are at school or something. I know they're gone for the day, and I would do it like early in the morning to work around that schedule or something, just to eliminate that whole interaction, with my neighbors. I mean, for the most part, I only have one neighbor, and they're the closest in the back part.
Once you start making honey, just give your neighbors lots of honey. That's what I do.
Yeah, that's my goal here is like give it back out to the community because Texas laws, Philip, as you know, the laws changed in 2020, man. We can now sell honey straight to like HEB, man. Dude, we can walk straight into HEB and sell honey. We don't even have to have a license for it, nothing.
Probably just a barcode on the jar and the label.
Label,
Right.
Yep, saying, hey, don't feed it to infants and saying either raw honey or pure honey. That's it.
Well, guys, I got to hop off. It's 10:30. I got to go back to work tomorrow.
Same here.
4 days off. So
Probably ought to.
Yep, same here. I got to work tomorrow. I got a big project this week.
So I'm going to hop out, but I appreciate you, Rich. And thank you for doing a live stream tonight. I don't know what happened to the kids. What happened to the kids tonight? They're usually on tonight, on Monday nights. Grayson and those.
I don't know who.
I didn't see
those
anything.
guys are. That's why I come on a little bit later, I guess. I don't know. Come on.
Yeah, 3:30 comes early.
Yeah, 3:30 comes early. Lee, y'all, James, DC, Edward, thanks for stopping in, man. Veterans, big shout out to you guys. Brian in Colorado, Michael. Who else we got here? Edward, always appreciate you dropping in, man. Brian, thanks for dropping in, man. You guys drive safe, man. Over to Hive Life.
Yeah.
Y'all be careful, man.
Oh yeah, we're just
Brian, you got a nice long healthy drive, man. You be careful, dude.
Yeah, don't rush it.
Yeah, don't rush it, man. It's gonna be there when you get there. Who else we got in here? Phil, thanks for coming in tonight, man. Thanks for letting us watch your videos too, man. Yeah, definitely glad to see your girls made it through too, man. But yeah, man, y'all take it easy.
All right.
All right.
Shout out from Texas, man. Y'all stay safe, stay warm. Hope your all girls are doing good.
All right, talk to you later.
Yeah, y'all be
All
safe,
right.
man. All right, see you guys. Good night, guys.
Bye.
Night. All right, man. Y'all, thanks for stopping in, man. Hit that like and subscribe on the way in or out. Hit that like or dislike. Brian, thanks for stopping in. Edward, James, Brian, you guys. Appreciate you, man. Really, really do coming in just BSing about bees. You know, I really think about you guys through the cold and stuff, man. And I know everybody was sweating this cold weather, man, because this was some harsh, cold weather for everybody, man. And I'm glad to hear everybody's bees made it through for the most part. Looks like everybody's did real well, man. Looks like everybody's did real well, and I guess it never. At the end of the day, these things never cease to amaze us. I mean, look how hardy these things are. I was listening to a Heroes to Hives video the other day, and they were talking about animal husbandry and how beekeeping is the most difficult in the animal husbandry world. Think about that. Y'all be safe. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.